Apologies if I have not pronounced the name appropriately. Minister and Deputy Chief of Mission of the Embassy of China in India. Over to you, Mr. Jinsong.
Thank you, Chairman, Your Excellencies, Minister, and ladies and gentlemen, dear friends. On behalf of the Ambassador Le Yuchen and the Chinese Embassy, I would like to express most sincere congratulations to the successful convening of these conferences. I bring with you a model of today's bullet tree. It's not a toy, it's a real model. It's a Chinese bullet tree. It's very beautiful and smart, and it's worked all around the It's mentioned in the model, it mentioned that the average speed is about 380 kilometers per hour. Right now is the average speed in China for this bulletin tree. And here, we're very delighted to attend this meeting because the theme of the today, railways reform and governance, is highly relevant. Since Prime Minister Modi took office, a host of the development initiatives have been rolled out. Among them is the revitalization of the railway network, with a total length of over 65,000 kilometers and a history of the 160 years. Indian Railways is one of the world's longest and oldest, and there is an urgent need to reform and improve. So that the mega initiative like the Make in India can go ahead at top speed, riding on the back of the modern railway infrastructure. In this respect, China, one of the India's close neighbors and partner, has much to offer and share. I'm so proud to see that China's railway construction technologies and experience, especially those in the high-speed railway, are among the world's best in many aspects. Currently, China's total running railway mileage is more than 121,000 kilometers, and China has about 19,000 kilometers of all operating high-speed railway lines, making up about 60% of the world total, and aim to achieve 30,000 kilometers by 2020. China High-Speed Railway has the highest operation speed of near 500 kilometers per hour, and its top rail weight simulation speed reached more than 600 kilometers per hour. According to the World Bank report, Chinese high-speed railway project is the most cost-effective in the world. The weighted average unit cost for Chinese high-speed railway project with a speed of 350 kilometers per hour is only 43% of the world average. Chinese high-speed railway makes a profit in the shortest time. 3 years after it went into operation, the Beijing-Shanghai high-speed railway began to make an annual profit of 200 million US dollars. It worked about 10 years, but 2 years ago it makes the profit. And before then, if you take the train from Beijing to Shanghai, you spend near half a day, about 20 hours. But right now you only can spend 7 hours is okay. The China has rich experience in high-speed railway construction in the wide range of circumstances. A lot of know-how has been gained during the construction of railway lines in diverse climate and geographical conditions, which can be used in future constructions. For example, at the more than 2,000 kilometers, the Beijing-Guangzhou high-speed railway track is the world's longest. All in all, China is among the few countries in the world commanding the complete set of high-speed railway technology and rich experience in high-speed railway operation and management. Today's meeting is the focus for the reform. I think we also like to share of Chinese railway reforms. Professor Dr. mentioned about several pillars for the reform for India. I just want to make some kind of clues for our reforms. One reform, the first reform, I think the most important reform is reform for the bureaucracy itself. In China, we dismantled our railway ministries. It established more than half a century. But 2 years ago, this ministry disappeared. We reorganized our cabinet, and right now is a Ministry of Transportation responsible for all the different kind of transportation affairs, includes the railway. And the railway administration right now becomes a slim railway bureau, only responsible for management and administrative affairs. And we separate one of the company responsible for the operation work. Another pillar for this reform is merge and integration. We merge some kind of median company integrated as one, like the South Railway Corporation and North Railway Corporation. The third pillar for this reform, as Professor Deborah Coyce mentioned, is privatization, and introduce the competition, introduce the private companies, their involvement. We also introduce the new approach like a PPP. I still can recall our Minister for Finance, he mentioned several times, he said that the rail company, the railway bureau always complained their lack of money. He said, no, you have the money. Because in the planning economy, you occupy so many of the land. Right now is the time for you to utilize this land. Like the station, why so big station? You can take some of the room of this station, some of the land station to be a mall. Or you can utilize to be the shopping center. Let the customs, they can take the train, but at other times they can relax. They can use the Wi-Fi, they can shop in the station. The station is a big complex of the future shopping and relax and entertainment. And they can earn a lot of money from this kind of complex works. I think this kind of reform is already begun. The fourth pillar for future's reform is internationalization. As you know, our President Xi has a great initiative of the Belt and Roads initiative. For the Belt, there's a lot of the channels or the pillars is based on the railway, include the high-speed railway systems. Right now, from the Shanghai or Chongqing, the inland city of China, if they take the railway to the western, to the German, it only spent about 9 days. And the average standard container, before then, we need about 9,000 US dollars. Right now, because of the standard of all the regulations, and one window for the customs, quarantines, and change of tracks, right now we use about 9 days, compared with before then, more than 20 days. The average price and cost before then is more than 9,000 US dollars. Now it's only about 2,000 or 3,000 US dollars. So it can be compete with the shipment. Even we can compete with the aviation. That's new type of the reform. We talk and negotiate with the foreign countries, with different agencies. And right now our railway construction companies have a lot of the projects. They bidding, they work, especially in F countries. And they also work in the Latin American. We are talking about 2 oceanic railway systems from Peru to Brazil. And we also help the African countries to build their dream for the North and South railway system. And it's also our dream, and for our company's dream, they can work in the Indian market along with Indian friends and partners to help you to fertilize your dream for making India and rising India. And the final pillar for this reform, I think is most important, is anti-corruption. We have the very severe campaign in China for anti-corruption. We don't like any officials to abuse use of this privilege. We like to all the money to use in the good place. It's the people's tax. So for the past few years, it's a very severe campaign. Many of the officials right now in prison. This kind of campaign takes this reform sustainable and very clean. So I just want to share this experience. Is want to say during the President Xi Jinping's visit to India in the September 2015. The National Railway Administration of China and the Ministry of Railway of India signed the MOU. And after that, more and more MOU and projects right now concluded and are now operating. So it's also a very good opportunity for our two countries to grasp, to speed up our construction work for the railway system. Enterprises of both countries have also joined in and began into the Indian railway market, like the China Railway First Group Corporation and China Railway No. 3 Group Corporation won the contracts for some of the sections of the Delhi and the Mumbai's subway projects. Shanghai Urban Construction Group contracted the subway shade projects in New Delhi and the Chennai. The former China South Railway Group won the contract to provide some of the railway cars for the Delhi and Mumbai subway projects. The China Shenyang Survey and Design Group won the bid for the feasibility study of the more than 1,200 kilometers Delhi-Mumbai high-speed railway, to name just a few. Looking forward, there are huge space for cooperation between China and India, such as heavy haul personal trading, the establishing of railway universities in India, and the completion of the feasibility study of the New Delhi Chennai high-speed railway, etc. My colleagues from the Chinese embassy in India and myself will do our best to facilitate mutual beneficial cooperation between our two countries on railway, and we are ready to share your views on how we can carry out this important mission in a more creative and faster manner. As the last, I want to introduce you the book, The Turn of the Turtle. It's an Indian writer written the book. I just finished yesterday night before attending this meeting. I don't think India is turtle. Maybe I disagree with the title of the book. But I think there are people always talking about the race between rabbit and the turtle. It means China and India, our race. Right now, China, our GDP growth slow down. But India's GDP growth right now is speed up. I think it's time to talk about the two rabbits. We are now in the one platform. India, I think, is very smart rabbits now. We like to compete and to collaborate with India in the same track of the high-speed railway system like this. Thank you.